fentanyl is fire. Like, it is so dangerous. It's like the most horrid, wretched, pure terror you can imagine. It feels like something slowly, like, just pulling your life force out of you, and then tunnel vision starts getting smaller and smaller, and around this tunnel, it's just darkness, right? And then it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and closes, and you're dead. That's it.
You think you're dead?
No, you're dead. You're a flat line, no heartbeat, dead.
Vancouver, a city renowned for its natural beauty. A quote from the tourist board. But beneath the mountain vistas, the city has a tragic underbelly. Despite being known as one of the world's top 3 cities in which to live, a tiny neighbourhood known as Downtown Eastside is experiencing a huge drug problem. Thousands of lives have been lost, and in nearly 9 out of 10 autopsies, a deadly new illicit drug has been present.
The painkiller fentanyl is now the #1 killer drug in the U.S.
You can die just by touching it.
Fentanyl.
A fatal dose of fentanyl.
The potent opioid that's supposed to tranquilize elephants.
A synthetic painkiller 100 times more powerful than morphine.
Just 2 milligrams of the pure drug, which is about 4 grains of salt, is enough to kill the average adult.
Prince died from a lethal amount of the painkiller
A
fentanyl.
10-year-old boy in Florida has become one of the
Overall, more than 63,000 people died of
monster drug kills far more people than gun
And
violence.
if you don't know what fentanyl is, it is basically the new heroin, but much, much stronger.
Hey, what's up, bro? Not a whole lot. I'm on a documentary right now, brother. I'm on a documentary here talking about opioid use and shit. Yeah, I'll come talk to you in a minute. Hey, wait down here. I gotta talk to you, bro. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Just another fellow bro in the hood, you know.
Friend of yours?
Yeah, a good friend of mine. That doesn't matter. Ask no questions. I'll tell no lies.
Good day to present.
Here in downtown Eastside, addiction is nothing new. Heroin has flowed through Vancouver's ports to this deprived part of town since the 1970s. But market forces have seen that heroin. Fentanyl is stronger, cheaper, much more important. Where are we going, Kevin?
Really, like?
Sure.
Let's go. Let's go.
That dude sounds like a crackhead, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, were they shooting it? I wanted to see that, and then I was like, I need my plug. This computer's gonna die.
How do you say?
Or you can just plug in with this cord. Do you have the cord?
I don't know if my computer goes with those
Nah.
computers.
Or do you have a USB?
I don't know. That's my computer.
Is that USB? Like one of these things that's like it's shaped. Or if you turn it in, then yeah, I can look in here.
Yeah. How do I?
Say hi to Maurice.
Hey, Mirror.
He's like, I ain't never coming to class again.
I'm crying.
Don't be logging on, logging right back off. We know that trick.
Right, we do.
Don't be playing.
All too well. Where's
He's
my
like,
Dropbox?
I did make a space for you to turn it in. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna look at assignments.
Oh, it's been crazy.
It has.
I don't know why either. It's just crazy.
And
Every day. So you got 3011, right? That's where you turn it in. Go into assignments, and then oh, he did log off. He's totally gone. It says nobody's even logged in anymore.
That's crazy.
Funny. kind of funny.
You do. Awesome. Okay. I just sent it.
Okay. This is sparkling water, tapioca, agave. This better be good. Whatever you do. Here goes. It's not that good.
It's not.
No. Pickly pear and lime. Well, no wonder.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
It's a cactus.
literally.
So you turn into this one.
The pick the date. Oh wait, meeting discussion.
If you did
I'm
on
so
pick
sorry.
the date, I can get it in.
Okay.
Doesn't
Wait,
matter.
is it gonna still count if I put it in the wrong?
We'll just
thing?
turn it in again. Did you ever pick a date? Because that's kind of funny.
I didn't. I didn't know. Like on my end, was I
Today
just-
happened to be the day, right?
Yeah.
So is it infant abuse, postpartum depression?
I'm just going and turn it into the right spot too.
I know, I don't think that I have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it in.
TK Aaron's here and Maya. So let's see if it's turned in this way.
Okay, I just sent it.
So submission 1. Oh, I do see 3 now. It was only 2. Submission 2.
I'm glad I'm getting this out the way.
Yes.
I've been telling people all week I'm gonna present.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, 2 people. I told
Wait, are you
Angel.
untitled presentation?
Probably.
Okay.
It say mine should say postpartum. No, that's Simone.
Shoot, let me go back. So it's this
Hello?
one?
Can you please tell him that this YouTube is skipping?
It always skips. That's why we're not an online class.
You're so
I'm
funny.
stressed out.
It is stressful. Just come on by. We're here. We're waiting for you. We won't start till you get here.
I really want to come. It's just- All right, I'm gonna come.
All right.
I ain't even doing nothing. I'm just trying to prepare myself.
Yes.
I'm
All right.
bringing my nail kit. But I'm gonna come.
That's fine. Come do your nails in class. You can get a presentation. Hello.
Yeah, I'm gonna go on and present while nobody here.
Yes.
All right.
She was hoping to
It's just
present when
y'all.
none of you guys were here, but now she's got to present.
But yeah, it's just us. Your hair looks really nice.
Thank you. I'm finna diffuse. No, I don't need to. It's dry.
That's funny.
All
I
right.
really wasn't gonna come because I was tired and hungry. But I thought, I'm just gonna grab my cups.
Yeah, come on by. Cause after I do this, we probably gonna be wrapping up anyway.
All right. Here I come. Need my snacks. Anybody want a bottle of water or something?
Yeah.
You need a bottle of water?
You could go on and bring me one. I guess I could just wait till you get here to present.
All right. Do the teacher want a bottle of water or something?
I'm okay. Thank you,
He's
though.
okay.
Okay. You're welcome. I'm on my way, y'all.
That's hilarious.
All right.
What questions do you have about your assignments? How can we help you get those done? Okay. So remember, the genogram is like a family tree. And you're going to do 3 generations, all the mental health in your family, any biological, liver, kidney, heart. We do it because when we counsel somebody, we want to know all the history of like the family and like. If you did 3 generations, you could do, if you wanted to do just like your mom, then her parents, and if any, do you have any siblings or like, do they have any kids? I'm trying to think of where the 3rd generation would be. You, your mom. Ideally, we do like, if you know anything about dad and stuff that you can put in, then that helps. Then with the Eco Map, I did my own research on my Eco Map last night, so I found out something that I wanted to show you all because I was actually slightly shocked by it.
Okay.
And
What's
it
the
was,
cultural ground? I seen that in the syllabus.
is that in there?
Yeah.
It's the same idea. Like,
Oh, they like the synonyms.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here is what I found out about myself when I did the Eco Map last night. And I used this app that's called, let me look it up, Life Cycle. And when I looked up Life Cycle, I went ahead and looked back to the year that I had my first child. I had 2,800 hours of sleep. Then I went to the next year and I had 2,300 hours of sleep.
Oh.
Then I went to,
Oh,
that's
look
Tommy.
at the baby. Oh, 900.
So 1,500 last year. So I went from literally 2,800 to 1,500 hours of sleep.
How are you? Sleep deprived?
I think so. But I like that it shows that even like the exercise. So I had 3 million steps last year, 2 years ago. Before babies, I had 4,600,000 steps. I started catching up again last year, though. I decided to start working out just for my own mental health and then all the driving too. So I do like that shows you all of those things.
This is really cool.
And it's
You
just
work a
tracking
lot.
you. I know.
It's like sleep work.
I think the problem is that I have my home listed as work as one of the problems. So that's cheating.
That
But
is cheating.
yeah, because you only work about 2,000 hours a year.
Oh, okay.
All right, when you guys graduate, what do you want to do with your social work degree?
Initially I wanted to be a therapist, but with all the stuff that we learned, it's like I could be in school social work.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, school social worker.
What do you want to do with your social work degree?
Now you're not listening.
I know. I'm used to it.
What you want to do with
What do you want to do with your social work degree? Which major were you thinking of? How many hours are you in? So are you a freshman or are you considered okay. So you should have 31 hours then, right? Okay. Okay. Right. Who taught you intro to social work? Okay. Or intro to social welfare, one of those? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, what, like, job-wise, would you want to do when you're done with school, if any? What do your parents do? I think we have an education program too, if that interests you. I always tell people, especially when I was a freshman and sophomore, I didn't want to do anything for a job, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't want to work. So,
exactly.
but then the need for money came up, and I'm
Right.
like, what can I get down with?
Mm-hmm.
What can I show up every day and like enjoy?
You enjoy every day of your job?
I try, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Which is, a lot of people don't say that.
A lot of people don't say that. And
I have a friend in construction management.
I bet he doesn't like that.
They make 6 figures.
Ooh.
I know. Would that be of interest to you? The 6 figures or the construction part? Right. Well, where's your mom teaching us? Teachers actually do eventually make good money. Is she doing more graduate school? Okay. How did Central recruit you when they first came and recruited? Do they at least get a discount if you had family graduate? But it's not free, right? They still have to pay something. Okay. Oh, so wait. So tuition is free? Does he work here? I didn't know that. So if you're a Central State grad, you can send your kids for pretty cheap. Damn. What year did he graduate? And then you were born shortly thereafter? Okay. And he's all, what was the exact job you said again? Mostly food stuff? Oh, video. Okay. Well, we were going to have.
I can really start for real.
Yeah. Let me see if it'll open for you. That way. Do I want to download it or you just want it like full screen?
You can just full screen it.
That way, we can get moving. They're like, let's get it done.
Yeah. Do I click? So should I like sit here or stand?
Yeah.
Sit.
If you're okay with it.
Okay, yeah. You go here. Okay.
Oh yeah, I should move that.
They can't see it for real. Okay. So for my presentation, I'm going to be presenting about postpartum depression. Oh. So do I just like click back and forth or like this?
It might be the next one, right? Is it down or is it over?
Oh,
Interesting.
Here.
We could just download it. Would that be easier?
Maybe. Yeah.
Right here. That way you'll get a good download. There it is. Okay.
Everybody could see.
Mm-hmm. That is so weird.
Right, I don't know what's going on.
When they start doing that.
Sure, I like it. I don't like it that much.
I know. I don't want to write a comment about it. But
Right.
It's fine. That is so weird. You just hit like
Okay. Submit.
JJJ.
I'm just trying to present my presentation.
I know. They make it so complicated.
I
And if
need
you go
help.
over, was it? Dang, it wants you to exit out. The red X
Where? This?
on the other side. That's it. There it is. Yay.
Okay. And then this to full screen it.
Correct. Yeah.
See?
Huh. So maybe it is.
Hey, I made it.
Yay.
Okay.
See, perfect timing. You hit
I was
play.
just finna present.
I brought you some chips.
Thank you.
It always skips. That's the problem.
It
always
does.
skips.
And I've been freaking. What is going on with me? So, I was sophomore class president.
I
beginning of the
remember
year.
that.
Yeah. I ran for Miss Sophomore last semester. The
Okay.
girl I ran against, she made a big complaint. It was like, this is unfair. I want to be Miss Sophomore.
So they gave the position to her.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
that's
went on the
literally what happened.
stage by Monday after the pageant. Like, mind you, the pageant was on Sunday. By Monday, I wasn't Miss Sophomore anymore.
And she won, like in front of
I won
everybody
in
with
front
the
of
crown.
everybody on live, on Facebook Live. Like, there is still pictures
The
posted
same
to
video.
this day. Yeah. So that happened. Fast forward to when we get on campus. She resigned. So they re-offered me the position. But I'm like, I'm an SGA. I'm already sophomore class president. How I'm going to be Miss Sophomore? They're like, you're going to do both. So now I'm sophomore class president and on royal court. And mind you, we're preparing for coronation and inauguration. I'm preparing for coronation
For the president.
and for inauguration. So not only am I like in two different ceremonies, Tuesday and then Thursday.
Yeah.
On top of that, we have practices for both events. We have meetings for both events throughout the days. And then I'm taking a sexual assault training. I work across the street in the health center. I'm on Crown's e-board.
Did they ever give you
So-
a chance to take 4 or 5 classes?
Nope. And it was my great, brilliant idea to take 18 credit hours. Like, I was just so happy to do it.
And I'm the only one who lets you watch it on YouTube live.
Yes. Your YouTube is skipping in my ears right now.
I'm sure.
But yes, so sometimes I be just taking that moment and just sitting.
Right.
Because Lord, here you go.
Mhm.
Okay. So do I just click?
Now you do just press arrow over.
Okay.
Is it not
So I'm presenting on postpartum depression. So what is postpartum depression? Postpartum depression is a mental health condition that occurs in women and even some men after pregnancy. New mothers battling postpartum depression may have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, anxiety, disconnection from the child, and even suicidal thoughts. It's very common occurring in every 1 in 8 new mothers, which is roughly around 13%, the year after childbirth. Baby blues. So new mothers often go through a period known as the baby blues. It's very normal because you just had a baby. So you thinking about, am I doing this whole mother thing right? You know, you're going through bodily changes. Like, it's okay for your mood to fluctuate in the first 2 to 3 days, up to 2 weeks after pregnancy. Symptoms of baby blues include mood swings, crying, anxiety, sadness, irritability, feeling overwhelmed, trouble sleeping, and much more. So yeah, all of this is kind of normal. Well, it's very normal because you just had a baby. And they occur within the first 2 days and can last up to 2 weeks. But anything after 2 weeks is when you want to start looking into postpartum depression, because that can be it. So baby blues is 2 days to 2 weeks after giving birth. Anything long term is considered postpartum depression, which is how it's diagnosed, which is what you wanted to hear.
Mhm.
Okay. Symptoms of postpartum depression include depressed mood, severe mood swings, feeling moody, trouble taking care of yourself or the baby, unusual crying or sadness, difficulty bonding with the baby, withdrawing from family members and friends, loss of appetite or eating too much, insomnia or sleeping too much, overwhelming tiredness or loss of energy, less interest and pleasure in doing activities you used to enjoy, intense irritability and anger, fear that you're not a good mother, hopelessness, feelings of worthlessness, shame, guilt, or inadequacy, reduced ability to think clearly, concentrate, or make decisions, restlessness, severe anxiety and panic attacks, and thoughts of harming yourself or the baby, and recurring thoughts of death or suicide. Some of the causes include, one big one is genetics. So family history of postpartum can indicate a high risk of experiencing it. So when you're planning the baby, just be sure to ask around, hey, how was you feeling after the baby? Because it can be very genetic. Physical changes. So after giving birth, hormones like estrogen and progesterone drastically shift and drop after childbirth, resulting in depression. Hormones produced by the thyroid gland also drop, leaving many feeling tired and sluggish. The thyroid gland is what turns your food into energy. So when that's all out of whack, you're not going to feel energized. Emotional issues. Women go through all sorts of emotions after having a baby. Being sleep deprived and overwhelmed leads to more trouble dealing with minor issues. Like the baby crying could get on your nerves a little bit more than if you wasn't overwhelmed by all the things going on. So, also after childbirth, many women feel unattractive after their bodily changes, and they're anxious about their maternal abilities, especially new mothers. More risk factors. So you may have a higher risk of experiencing postpartum depression if you suffer from any of these. History of mental health issues, pregnancy complications, stressful events like job loss, baby having health problems like it being premature or special needs, two or more children. So that includes twins and triplets, but also like had a baby already and you have another baby, you're having an increased risk of postpartum. Difficulty breastfeeding, a weak support system, unplanned or unwanted pregnancy, financial or spouse problems, traumatic birth experience, being under the age of 20, and experiencing child abuse or domestic violence.
We had difficulty breastfeeding the first one and like 5 stitches, so that makes it hard.
Yeah,
Can't
it's a
sit
whole
or
process.
walk.
And then you might be feeling like, why is this working? Isn't But it's all normal. No birth is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Effects of postpartum being left untreated. A lot of times mothers are like scared to speak up because this supposed to be the happiest time of your life and they're supposed to have it all under control. So a lot of times it goes undiagnosed. And it can also lead into like more of a psychosis state, which I didn't talk too much about that because that's not postpartum depression. But it is like under the same umbrella where mothers can have thoughts of like killing their baby and burning the house down. Like I saw one story, she thought about burning the house down. But anyways, so for mothers, the effects of postpartum being left untreated. For mothers, it can be an ongoing depressive disorder that can last months or even years. Trouble bonding with the baby. They may stop breastfeeding. Increased risk of suicide. Um, and even if it is treated, the women still have risk of major depression later down the line. And they can have trouble caring for their own needs as well as the babies, such as like the mother getting enough food, the mother being able to bathe herself. Like they have trouble caring for themselves. Even if they do care for them baby, like self-care is still important. For the other parent, it can have a ripple effect and leave the other parent depressed as well. And for the child, there can be more likely to have emotional or behavioral problems. Can have difficulty sleeping and eating. They can cry too often. They can have delays in language development and learning problems. And they can have problems bonding with the mother. They can have shorter height and higher risk of obesity. Um, just getting into more of like the emotional and behavioral problems. Like when you're a baby, and like we was talking about this a couple weeks ago, the whole like 9 inches thing. When you don't have that, it can like, it's like they just have trouble bonding with their mother, so they have trouble bonding with other people. And treatments. So therapy. It can help sort through your problems and emotions. Also, there's like support groups for women battling PPD, which is also another term for it. And it just gives like a sense of community and understanding, knowing that they're not alone. Self-care, as I mentioned, is very important for them to care for themselves, not only the baby, but themselves as well. This includes getting enough rest, food, physical activity, and asking for help when needed. Social support, reaching out to friends, family, and other loved ones to provide support, help, or advice also gives a sense of community because, like I said earlier, they tend to be more withdrawn from family members because they just don't feel or look their best. Medication. The most common one is antidepressants, which can be taken while breastfeeding. Another medication that can be used is brexanolone, but it's not safe for breastfeeding. So if you're like using formula, you can use that one. Or another alternative is zearanolone, which is safe for breastfeeding. And then I have a video. How do I do the video? Do I just click it?
Click on it.
Okay.
It might. If
I don't got no
set up
Apple
a hot
product.
link. Right. If it's not set up that way, we could always look at it.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Cause yeah. So I'm gonna just keep clicking.
So we can go, let's like escape. Is there a link inside of that, you think?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe we just copy and paste it. Takes a while. Apple's a pain in the butt. Oh, it might just work from here, huh?
You see it? Oh, it's that one.
Is it that whole thing?
No, it's this one.
Oh. So just this.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay. That one might be okay. Ah, of course it's not. Electronics. We'll get mad if I don't do www. Okay, let's try. It can be rough though too. Like if like you said, having the mom wanting to harm, really just like any way you could get out of what's going on. Like, is there a way I can not have to take care of this kid all the time?
Right. And I like as I was doing research on it, this one, like I was watching a TED Talk on this woman, and she said like, you know, basically she heard this fans kind of telling her to burn the house down.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm Serenity, and I started Serenity Kids.
And
for
she
my
was like,
baby Della.
the fans were
Baby
whispering
foods
to
are
me.
packed
So
with sugary fruits, but babies
yeah,
need
she's gonna
They
talk.
brought her into this.
What postpartum depression really looks like. This is part
She
one
gonna
of
touch
a
on
series
psychosis
that
as
I'm
well,
doing on
'cause that's
women's
like-
mental health. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and this channel is about mental health.
So she's
Postpartum.
an MD.
Yeah. But postpartum and psychosis are kind of closely related, so she touches on a bit of that. But yeah, it get crazy out here for women.
It does. You're right.
Okay, it's like a 7-minute video. It's not too long.
Maybe.
Like-
there you go. Space bar.
Education and self-improvement. This video is based on a viewer question from Dr. Mohammed El Sharif, who's an obstetrician and gynecologist with his own YouTube channel. He wanted me to help his viewers understand postpartum depression. Perinatal depression refers to depression that occurs before, during, and after pregnancy. During pregnancy, it's called antenatal depression, and any time within 4 to 6 weeks after giving birth, it's called postpartum depression. Many more women, though, develop baby blues, which is mostly sadness, irritability, and sleeping problems, but baby blues resolves within the first 10 days. Postpartum depression has a deeper level of sadness, hopelessness, or worthlessness, and trouble functioning that lasts much longer. The symptoms can last weeks to months. For some women, this can be the start of a recurring illness that comes back in the future and lasts for months or years. The depression that can happen postpartum generally has the same symptoms as a depression that's not related to pregnancy. And this would be symptoms like depressed mood, poor appetite, poor sleep, and the poor sleep would be trouble sleeping when your baby is sleeping. You can also have irritability, decreased appetite, and suicidality. And these symptoms can show up within the first 72 hours after you give birth, so it can come on fast. That's what a typical depression would look like. But here's a more subtle way postpartum depression can look, and this is how it can interfere with your child's development. When anyone gets depressed, you become more self-focused and ruminative, and that means you overfocus on the negative thoughts. These thoughts don't have to be negative things in your life. It can just be negative thoughts that you have about yourself or your baby. And because you're caught up in this negative, dark world in your head, on the outside, you can have less positive emotional expression with your baby. And even if you feel bad and think you can fake it just by smiling, you really can't do it as well as you think you can, because the emotional expression that your baby senses from you involves more than smiling. It's many more non-expressions like eye contact and body language. It takes an incredible amount of emotional resources to effectively communicate with a nonverbal baby. And when you're not depressed and have a normal interaction with your baby, it's like you're one with your child. Over time, you're able to distinguish between the cry that means he's sleepy versus hungry, in pain, or just fussy. And all those cries and facial expressions are different. And when you're not depressed, you're tuned into it in a way that you can distinguish all those little noises from one another and know how to meet your baby's needs. But when you're depressed and you're caught up in the negative thoughts in your head, you're less sensitive to these cues. You just don't get it. It's all the same crying to you that you're not able to do much about, which makes you a failure. It confirms that you're not good at this. Your baby is just trying to make your life miserable, etc. This depressed state has negative effects on your baby. It results in poor infant bonding, difficult temperament, and behavior problems. There's also an increased risk of compromised cognitive function. What causes postpartum depression? We don't know exactly what causes it, but some researchers have proposed, though, that it's related to dropping hormone levels after giving birth. But there are some things that are associated with increasing your chances of getting it. It's estimated that 10 to 20% of women develop postpartum depression, just so you know. And here are some of the risk factors: thyroid dysfunction, having a previous episode of depression. And it's important to note, though, that if you don't have an episode of depression after your first pregnancy, it doesn't mean that you're safe from having another episode in the future, because another risk factor is having multiple pregnancies. Also, having pre-existing bipolar disorder really increases the risk of having another one of your episodes after giving birth. So if you have bipolar disorder before you get pregnant, you have a 25 to 40% chance of having one of your episodes of depression or mania appearing after birth. In fact, bipolar disorder increases your risk of postpartum psychosis. And this is a very dangerous state and usually requires hospitalization to protect you and your baby from harm. It's in this state that you can harm your baby because you're not thinking rationally. Some Canadian researchers recently found an association between asthma and postpartum depression. And it's thought that this connection might be related to inflammation affecting your asthma as well as causing your depression. So postpartum depression doesn't have to come from a single cause. It's probably a combination of physical and emotional factors. But it doesn't happen because of something you do or don't do correctly. Many moms can feel a lot of shame and guilt because they aren't happy like people expect you to be. You've got this precious baby, yet when you look at him, you don't feel joy, you feel anger, or you cry every morning in the shower. And you can really feel as though something's wrong with who you are as a person, instead of realizing that this is an illness affecting how you think. It's not who you are. You have a thinking problem. Taking care of a newborn is hard. You're sleep deprived and you're probably stressed out. So how can you tell if you have this problem? Some women don't realize that something is wrong. You just figure that this is just how it is. A popular screening tool is EndPlate. It's been used in research studies and it's considered a good indicator of postpartum depression. And some doctors will use it to screen patients for depression. If your doctor doesn't use it, it's easy to find on the internet and you can take it yourself. The test will even tell you how to score yourself. If you score high, take the results to your doctor. How is postpartum depression treated? Can you take medications while you're breastfeeding? That's what I'm going to talk about in the next video, which is part 2 in this series on women's mental health. So check out the next video.
That concludes my presentation. Thank you, Deshay. Any questions?
Any questions?
I did have a statement, not a question.
Yeah.
I just think that this presentation really shows how much support and how important it is who you lay down and have your kid with, the relationship that y'all have, the environment that you're in, just highlighting the importance of really being in your own space, being like, I know a lot of people don't think marriage is like a big thing, but having a supportive partners in marriage, like even a supportive partner, period, if y'all not married, but going through that, like you really need somebody who can take the weight off. Like while you can sleep, somebody who can get the baby so that you can take care of yourself while you're taking a shower. Somebody can, you know, like you really need that support system. So without it, I think it just really like, you know, makes things worse.
Because a weak support system does lead to postpartum depression. Like you doing everything yourself. Sleep deprived. You can't eat, can't bathe, and then that leads to feelings of being unattractive, low self-esteem. Then it's like this baby keep crying, and then what she was saying, how you can't tell if the hungry or if he's tired, or like it's just it has cascading effects.
Cries,
It's frustrating. Like it gets really frustrating when you're the only person there, and like you're trying to eat yourself, and you just sat down. Like you think your baby sleep for a nap, but you're hearing phantom cries while you're in the shower. So you get out the shower, you don't even wash your ass. Like, literally, you know, little stuff.
I think another thing, just because we don't people here, but the effects that it has on the child is like, real. You like she was saying, you're not bonding with your baby. Your baby is you're the first bond. The parents of the baby is the first bond they will ever make. So if that is kind of warped or whatever, the bonds they gonna have after that gonna be not the best as well. They don't even know how to.
Are they gonna have attachment issues? Like growing up looking
attachment
for
disorder.
And, all different kind of places and things like that. You just don't want that to happen. But I don't know. I think it's also smart to like which one? Whatever one you want. I don't know which one. I'm so happy to take those ones. I really want to talk about it. I have a question though.
Yeah,
I've been MIA for a while. You're to be skipping. So the slides. I seen the part where it says pick a date, but I never knew what I was picking a date for. I just
right.
I didn't.
And that's probably the in-person importance of the class, but picking a date to present on a major mental health disorder. So that's what we were doing here, and that's what. And people, you could pick any of the full range. We had some of them. Where did we get? I sent out the DSM-5 because that's what you diagnose it from.
Did anybody do bipolar depression?
Actually, I don't think we've had that one mentioned yet, so you could do that one.
I am going to do that one. I'm very much her. She is me.
What's that?
I said I'm her. She is me. I am struggling.
Okay.
But I think it's a good topic to talk about.
Right.
It's very common too. And people only think about like the bipolar aspect of it, not like the things that go on behind closed doors. Like people hear bipolar depression disorder and just be like, oh, like your personalities be switching, but like that's not even what it is at all.
Right. Yeah. You can have some. For example, if we go in here,
I don't know how to use PowerPoint or nothing, so.
That's the cool part, though. Is I'm pretty flexible. So even if you just had a white PowerPoint with all the stuff pasted in there, that's the way you get to learn.
I was gonna say it might take me a minute though.
That's okay.
Because I like to make things pretty, so I'm gonna try.
Okay.
It won't be blank, but it might take me a little longer because I want to put pictures.
I have some pretty. I have really boring PowerPoints. They're, but here is a download of the DSM-5. If you guys download it, you can search bipolar disorder in there, and that's where you see how they diagnose it. So I'll download it and try to show you an example of it. I bet you it's huge. It's 1,300 pages and 57. Wow. 1,377.
You know that lady came to class for the O state thing? Are you going?
Do you even have time?
Honestly, I don't think I have time for it. When is it again? I'm sorry, because I
probably in 2 weeks, right?
It's like it's like closer to Halloween, but I don't think I signed up for what I need to sign up for. That's what I'm asking about it.
I didn't sign up. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I just have a statement, I guess, rather than a question. But like, I think I made up my mind and decided like social work is just not for me. It's really not what I want to do. And I don't like want to say that as in like I don't care about people's kids, but it's just like I overcare and I don't want to get myself caught in that. Like I'd rather catch it when it's too late. Not to say it like that, but that's why I'm going into forensic science to catch stuff after it's too late and to figure out what can I do from there to help support the families 10 years down the line, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, all that. Like, I want to deal with the aftermath of, because everybody is somebody's child. So no matter if you're 35 years old or if you're 3 years old, like, I want to work with things like that. And I was going into forensic social work, but what I think for me is it is too emotional. Like,
it could be, yeah.
My social welfare classes, I mean, my child and family services class and my social welfare class, it just make me too emotional. Like, I be sitting there like, I'm gonna be standing in front of a mother knowing, because my initial reason for wanting to go into social work is because, like, I've been failed by the system. Like, nobody paid attention when it was me and my mom, because it was my mom. And she was just like, this is just my kid. And it was other Black workers in the social work system. So I'm like, I want to be that change, because I noticed how quiet and pushed off I was and how I didn't speak up for myself. I want to be able to take those kids out of their rooms and listen to them. But at the same time, it's like, now that I've heard you, I'm relating, we're sitting down having a therapy session, I'm crying, you're crying, do you want to come home with me? But I can't take you.
Right.
I have to leave you here. Like, I have to let you go through this process. And I know behind closed doors, like, once that door closed behind you and the CPS workers leave, or like whatever field you're in, once you leave that family or that adult or that individual, like, they're sent right back to what you're trying to get them out of, up until the point where you can get them out of it. And that's just like, I'm going to sleep with that on my heart every night, just feeling hopeless. Like,
have you talked with Nikita about this?
No.
She has a lot of stories about being in the system and the system both failing and helping her. So she'd be a really good one to.
I should talk to. Everybody tell me about Nikita, and I met her at a social work event last semester.
Yeah.
And she was just so sweet, but I never got to have like a one-on-one with her.
Right.
I just think I'm too emotional. I just started talking.
I mean, I feel like if you need to go into more forensic science and helping after the fact, then
I really go for it. It's something that draws me to murderers. Like, why? Why did you do that?
Right.
Like, can we talk about this? Can we what can we do to prevent this from happening further? And then once I take myself back from being a detective, I'm going straight higher up into laws. I want to help make rules and regulations. Like,
which you can do that with social work. You can be an advocate and do different.
Social work is all about like policy and research and writing.
That's
you absolutely can. Yeah.
Everything is that though. Everything is policy, because no change will be made without policy, and no policy will be made without research. You know, so yeah.
What year will you graduate? Is it 26? Okay.
Well, it might be. Yeah, either the not spring of 2025.
The fall.
The fall of 2025.
Yeah.
Or the spring of 2026.
Are you taking 18 every semester or something, or like
18 every semester.
I did
summer
that.
Classes.
Yep, I did that.
Trying to do everything I can, but at the same time, this year, as I'm getting involved, I'm realizing that I might want to pace myself, because I want to be Miss CSU.
Yeah.
And I want to be Miss CSU for a full consecutive year, not
just
for the spring semester.
Yeah, I know.
And then the fall semester, and then after fall semester, they got to find something. Like, I don't want to do that.
Because you could take 12 random electives if that's the case, or add a minor. You know, like that's something you always do.
You know, y'all want to know what's crazy? Forensic science just got dropped as a minor, and I took all the courses for it already.
Who dropped it as a minor? Like, what was
Well,
that?
it hasn't got approved yet. But Dr. Reed, it's available right now.
Okay.
But it will be available to actually put on our transcripts next fall.
Oh, you mean it got not dropped, but added, I guess. That's okay.
Added,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I know. They
No,
already
it
dropped
got
it?
added. It got
Yes. Okay.
That's good. But when I said drop, I mean, because, like, you know,
I hear
how
what
they,
you're
like,
saying. Yes.
Yeah, so it got added. And
You
I've
scared me for
taken-
a second. I'm like, oh, shit.
Classes for no reason.
Yeah, I know.
No. It got, like, they dropped it to let us know it was available and out.
Right, because we're creating a forensic social work class for that, too.
Yes.
Okay. You scared me for a second.
When I was
I'm
a
like,
social work major, Dr. Reed, Genevieve Ritchie-Anling, I don't know if y'all know her, but so Dr. Reed is my favorite teacher.
oh, she goes by Ree. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yes.
Ah.
But she was telling me about it last semester, and I was telling her how I wanted to go into forensic social work, and she was telling me, well, we're looking into this grant for forensic studies.
And she got it.
And they got it.
Yeah.
So when they told me that, I was looking into the courses that I needed to take, and I just
Took them all.
Yeah. Monday, I'm just
You took
gonna
'em
add
all.
the last 2 that I need, and I took 2 of them this semester. So after
What are the 4 total then?
Let me pull up the email.
You don't know
Forensic.
nothing about that state thing, do you?
I don't, because that's the first time I've ever had her here. We have UC driving us down there next month. Did you go last year to UC? It's supposed to be November 11th, but
I'm from Cincinnati. Though.
Yeah.
I go there. Like,
yeah, but they give you a hotel room and feed you. That's the coolest part about
Okay,
it.
we should go.
Yeah.
I just want to go on something.
Everybody
to get off campus.
Right.
Everybody keep telling me to double major in social work and criminal justice.
Cause you already have.
Like that's what I'm saying, but it's like you're the only social work teacher that I'll probably want. I don't like Miss Karen Jordan Johnson. I don't.
You
like
already
her.
have her though.
I have her right now, in this moment.
And
And then who else do you have? Nisha. You got Dr. Nisha Wiley.
And you will love her.
I've never had Dr.
You will
Wiley.
love her.
And then
I had Dr. Hunt for both of my
That's
classes.
right.
So I love Dr. Hunt.
Social work professors be cool.
They do be cool, but it's just it gotta be Karen. She gotta be pushing me away because her class.
that could be it. That could
It's
be
like-
it. She wasn't formed as a teacher traditionally, so that makes a lot of sense. Like she's an MSW practitioner, and she has taught adjunct 1 or 2 classes, and she was hired for the Child and Family Services. But you're not going into Child and Family Services, are you?
No, not at all.
So you don't even have to take part 2.
And that's what I was gonna say.
You don't even have to take it again. Like you'll never have her again.
I don't know, y'all. It's so much stuff that goes into consideration with it because then I have to do my field work. Once I get to my field work, they told me I can work at the help center. I would love to work at the help center.
You can
because that
totally
keep me
work with
closer
Dr. Hunt. Yeah.
To campus.
People do that all the
But
time.
While I'm trying to run for Miss CSU, I want to be Miss Junior next year. I'm still gonna be in my e-boards, like
What does e-boards mean? What is
executive boards for organizations.
okay.
Executive boards for organizations.
Okay.
So
Like
just like planning mental health specialists on Crown's e-board. So I'm more so for the girls, like them to come to. I have some credentials and stuff like that through Dr. Hunt.
because this is the quickest path for you to do like independent social worker.
Social work. Like what you're doing now is kind of social work. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm
It's
just,
probably just I wouldn't let one class form it
Yeah.
for you just because they teach differently. Like they just might be used to old school or we're taught our old way and we're not teaching
I
that
don't know.
way
She
anymore.
don't teach at all, y'all. Like, I don't know. But I'm definitely
Yeah.
I'm gonna have this solidified by the end of this semester. So going into next semester, I could be taking both at once and then add on some during my summer course. Summer semester.
Like you could double major, you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Or
And
the
still have my
forensics.
minor. Yeah, so it'll be like
So
double
so
major,
work, what was the other major you wanted to add? On top?
criminal justice. Well, I'm already
Oh.
a criminal justice major.
And you can easily do that as it's all online.
Yeah,
Okay.
and criminal justice was already my minor. So I was taking the courses together.
Yeah. Okay.
So you.
I'm really not too far off from doing it. It's just I'm not yet.
Right. Yeah. That's I'm
being
sure you'll be fine. I wouldn't let there's always one teacher one of us doesn't get along with. And it's not the teacher's fault or the student's fault. You just don't vibe and that's okay.
That's what it is.
Vibe and that's okay.
That's what it is. But she just be talking. Like, she'll be like, this is going to be on your test. Make sure I write this down in our emails. And we get the test.